Hey everyone, welcome to the Broken Shifter podcast. We're going to talk about the Martinsville Spring Race. We were really excited for this race. I'm Hurdon.
I'm Carbon.
I'm a no longer concerned Caboose.
And I'm Amp. That snowed. Oh wait, that's Martinsville.
Do we ever do a consistent intro?
No.
One
hell
person
no.
always
no.
says something different.
So, Martinsville we thought was going to be super exciting because it was both times last year. We'll get to that after Caboose gives us his stage winners.
Stage winner, Hamlin. Stage winner, Blaney. Race winner, Clipboy.
So we saw something this weekend that we haven't seen since Bristol a while back. As far as during a race weekend, which I think they got that Bristol race in. But we had some snow. Snow came across, and they got about 4 or 5 inches of snow at Martinsville. I applaud NASCAR's effort getting the snow cleared off and getting the race in the next day. Good job on them. I'd ready for everybody's opinion on that. It was interesting.
I wasn't expecting to see the pictures of it. I got up Sunday and I'm like, all right, so Martinsville today, and then I think it was Caboose. I think message saying that the race was canceled, or Amp, or somebody said that, and I looked at, or I went on Reddit and saw the freaking picture of the track, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know it was snowing there. Thought it was just rain.
Yeah, it was interesting seeing those reports because throughout the weekend they were going, it might snow, it might not snow, it might snow, it might not snow. The only day we got confirmed is Wednesday, and mind you, this was Monday. And as the week went on, they started getting more and more concerned. Then there was about a half a day where they went, we should be clear. Right.
Wrong.
Qualifying was canceled for the Cup cars. There we go. I know how to do words. And the trucks only managed to do 25 laps of their race before they went, no, we're pushing this back.
No, I kind of figured that there wasn't going to be a race, or it would get postponed, because most of the forecasts that I kept seeing was snow, snow, snow. So, and they were even prepared. They brought in some sort of, I don't even know what the hell they called it. It was like basically a giant vacuum just to suck up the damn snow. So,
Yep.
they were, at least they were prepared, because I don't think they could have gotten any jet dryer or anything on that track.
I would have loved to see
Yeah.
that jet dryer go by over the fucking snow.
Just make sure Juan Pablo's nowhere near.
Yeah, especially with snow on the track.
Yeah. Well, he'll just melt the snow real quick. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I had a friend that I went to college with who lives in Martinsville, and she was posting pictures of the snow coming down, and I was like, oh shit, here we go again. But anyways, it made for interesting racing. Comers and goers all day long. There was multiple cars that could have won this race. For the first time in a while, you had probably 6 or 7 cars that could have won this. So, Harvick had contact with Almirola on pit road. I don't remember that incident, so whoever does can go ahead and describe that a little bit. I don't think it was that bad.
They were at commercial, I know, at the time. Then they kind of came back and were like, hey, Harvick hit him. Harvick and Almirola got into an accident. They kind of.
But neither one suffered. They didn't either one suffer a whole lot of damage.
Almirola had to come back anyways
Almirola was
because he
bad enough to
sped
work.
on pit road entering. So.
Right. So, Hamlin dominates stage 1. He started, I don't remember what place, but it wasn't near the front. Not right at the front, at least. It was top 10. And he's so good at Martinsville. I was like, Hamlin's going to win this race. He's who I picked to win the race on my fantasy league. And I thought he was after stage 1. And his car just went to complete and utter shit. But I think one consistent thing we can all agree on, Toyota and Ford have been dominating this entire season. There's no stopping them right now.
Yep.
At one point during the race, AJ Allmendinger was the only Chevrolet in the top 10.
Yeah, he had a good ride. I don't know where the fuck he
He's
came
good
from,
at that
but
track.
He had a good ride.
He is very good at Martinsville. So, what do y'all think on Chevy? Lost cause at this point, or you think they'll get it fixed?
They were creeping throughout the entire race from what I saw. I wasn't able to watch the actual race, so I was keeping an eye on the app, and I was just seeing a bunch of Chevrolets just start creeping and creeping and creeping. Jimmy, his car was starting to come to in stage 3, and Chase Elliott's car was also coming to by looks of it towards the end of stage 2.
Well,
seeing Jimmy in
10th.
Yeah.
Finished the first stage 10th, finished the second stage 11th, and then I don't know what happened to him after that. He kind of fell off a little bit.
Yeah, he fell. I think he finished a lap down.
I think
either that or the last car on the lead lap.
I think the biggest problem with this race, not like a bad problem or anything, just like the biggest problem with a lot of the drivers, the cars, were it was just so much green flag racing. Stage 1, people would come in, they'd get their fixes done, where Hamlin might have been like, oh, I have a really good car, so I'm just going to keep it the same, and then come out of stage 2, and everybody else is faster and he's slower. Stage 2, Blaney dominates it, and then comes out stage 3, okay, now it's a new driver. It's like, it was literally every time there was an actual time to come in, which there wasn't that many that often during that race.
There was, only
Somebody
one or
had a
two
fix
actual
for the car.
cautions outside of
Yeah, there wasn't many.
Yeah,
the end of
and they were
stages
fast.
and the comp.
I think the cold air really messed with what they practiced in.
Yeah.
And that really screwed it up. And I feel like the winner of the stages, constantly, they made a wrong adjustment in the pits. And this is something you need to be prepared for if you're going to Martinsville or Bristol at this time of year. You've got to be prepared for it. It can happen.
Yeah.
Especially being this has been an odd year for weather, especially for the East Coast. So, Chris Buescher's Jackman got hit in the competition caution. I did see this. They took him out on ambulance, which they had to let him out because Martinsville doesn't have a tunnel, so they had to drive the ambulance across the track, just like they do at my home track, which is a smaller track. But I don't know how they could have prevented that. I'm not entirely sure. I think that's driver error.
It's driver error in the track just being that small and the pit roads being even smaller. There's not a lot of room for any kind of error, regardless if it's driver, pit crew, or otherwise. These kind of things are going to happen, but luckily the way NASCAR has improved with safety and health stuff, they took care of them.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I didn't see the incident.
yeah,
Me either.
he didn't
I
get
just saw
hit
the
that
ambulance
hard,
suddenly
but
going
apparently
out.
it was.
Yeah.
It didn't look like he got hit hard, but apparently he did.
Yeah, well, I remember them saying, I remember the announcers just saying, oh, yeah, the Jackman got hit for Chris Buescher, and he walked off on his own power to the care center, basically, kind of like, or to the cart to the care center, and it was really about it. They never mentioned anything else. And all of a
Yeah.
sudden, there's an ambulance leaving. It was like, okay, what happened?
They get
I
probably
kept hearing them
Yeah,
talk
see
about it, but that was about
See
it.
if there's any update on it or not, but I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, I haven't found anything on it yet.
Oh, wait, here's one. Torn muscles in his leg, abs, and groin. Out for a few weeks.
Ooh,
Fine.
all three. Yeah, that's not fun. So the air gun problem continues. Daniel Suarez's air gun snapped in half in between the stage 1 and stage 2, where they have the caution. They gotta either improve these air guns or go back to the do it on your own, spend as much money as you want system. I would love to hear opinions on this.
What was it that I said in the message? NASCAR proving that gun control is not very good. Not working out.
No, one of the issues that I see is that the air guns that they're using on the Cubs side, those are the same air guns that the Trucks were using. And then they just, just hand them over and go, here we go, we're done with them. And so,
So they have wear and tear.
these guns, they have wear and tear even before they get to the Cub teams.
Right.
And I feel like if they brought more air guns, that way the ones that did get extraordinarily heavily used, they could swap those out. But the way they currently got it to where, if it's a full race weekend like Daytona, where the Trucks get the air guns, and then the air guns go to the Xfinity, and then there's some new air guns thrown in because there's more Xfinity cars, and then those same guns from Truck that went to Xfinity are now brought up to the Cup, these kind of issues are going to come up.
Yep.
Personally, I'm starting to wonder if these teams are, just trying to mess with them in a little bit of way just to get a little bit of advantage on their opponents. It could be, I could be totally wrong in that, and it's just wear and tear. But I don't even think we've had one weekend where there hasn't been any problems yet with when it comes to these air guns.
Jamming or breaking or something, yeah.
But this is the first time this was blown in half.
Yeah, it could also be possible sabotage to force it to where NASCAR goes, okay, this isn't working, you guys go back to having your own shit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a big possibility, but it's definitely something to put on the table.
Yeah, I think an improvement in the
car.
quality of... I think the quality of material needs to be upgraded. It's obviously not cutting it. Something's not right with them, and I think, like Caboose said, wear and tear. But anyways, on to Ryan Blaney dominated Stage 2. It was boring as shit. Nobody cares. There were a few challenges for the lead here and there was a lot of passing, but just nobody was being aggressive. Boyer led a ton of laps in Stage 3. Fuel man screwed up. Didn't get the tank full. Which in the end wound up benefiting Boyer because the first major caution was Austin Dillon putting Jamie Murray into the wall. This allowed Clinton Boyer to just hit where he needed to be and make it to the end of the race.
Yep.
Yeah, it looked like he wheel hopped it and went straight into Jamie.
Yep.
Definitely saved Boyer because he would have been short by, I think they were saying 20 to 30 laps.
Yeah, 3 gallons short, and so yeah, 3 gallons. That's a lot of fucking fuel.
I mean, at least it
I don't care
happened
who
to
you are.
him.
You can even be Brad Keselowski. You're not saving enough to make
at least it
3
happened
gallons
to
worth of laps.
At least it happened to him at a track like this where it wasn't, something fucking horrible. Like a Daytona or something like that where he would have been totally screwed.
Boyer gets exactly what he needed in the end, and there was lots of tire issues, lots of times cautions could have came out and stuff like that. And, I mean, Trevor Bayne hit the wall. We had numerous tires go down.
So I think 2 tires went down at the end there. And
I
everybody
think the
was
other one
like,
was Harrison Rhodes.
Boyer was like,
That
"Oh my
was
God,
a hell
oh
of
my
a
God."
save. The Harrison Road save was fucking amazing.
Yeah, it was towards the middle, or like the middle of
the end of Stage 2 or so.
yeah.
Or was it Stage 2 or Stage...
I think it was Stage 3.
It might have been Stage 1.
It was... Maybe.
I don't know. It was somebody was trying
The whole
to
race
get
is all
past,
mixed together for me right now, just because it was all green flag.
But anyways, it was a really good
It all just
save.
blends together.
But needless to say, Boyer wins and decides to go fucking hauling ass on the cooldown lap, doing a burnout, and then everybody on the announce team thought he was wrecking the car going into the turn. Then he did the burnout of the year. Hands down, was awesome, and he just was so excited he continued to tear it down. It was freaking awesome. I love Clint Boyer. This was really good for the sport for him to win. The race was not good for the sport, but that made that race. The best moment of the entire race was after it. Carbon.
Yeah, when Boyer decided to do a very interesting celebration. I don't know what his... I don't know if it was intentional. His plan was to, like, I don't know, drift the car or something, but he just flipped it around real fast coming into turn 3. And everybody thought he was going to frickin' wreck the thing, but he didn't. I think he was trying to get it up on the curb or something. I'm not really sure what he was doing, to be honest. But it was pretty funny. And then he did his normal donut on the start line.
He fucking whipped it coming across the line, getting ready for doing said burnouts. I'm happy for Clint. It was, 180-something races that he has without a win?
Joe was 190-something
races. Yeah. So, he's a good driver. He finally got it back in good equipment, and I'm happy to see him win.
Short track guy.
Yeah, his celebration was fucking awesome. You know, trying to burn it down on the back stretch, and then Tokyo drifting it into turn 3. So happy for him.
Moving.
You know, always liked him.
Oh yeah.
It's good to see him. Good to see Stuart Haas having 2 cars in the chase already.
I like seeing these unique celebrations outside the dab.
Dare I say it was better than some of the ones that we've seen so far?
Yeah. I liked his post-race interview, too. His post-race interview was great. He gets to the interview, and he's like...
give me a damn beer.
Yeah, give me a damn beer.
Yeah. If he was that excited after you win, you're doing something
you're not
wrong.
trying. Yeah. He was... When he went to get the checkered flag, he was looking at the fans saying, give me a beer. I thought that was really cool.
Well, even after the cameras went off and everything, he was up in the crowd with them.
Yeah, he's that kind of guy.
Talking to him.
All right, so let's go ahead and do picks for Texas Carbon. You're up first.
Straight into it. Okay, so my primary pick's going to be the dominant Kevin Harvick. Can't ignore him. And then my dark horse, I think, is going to be a person who has been slowly kind of sneaking in the top, or somewhere between the 10 and 20 area. He was in the top 10 at Martinsville. I'm going to go with AJ, Mr. Amandinga.
All right. What's Caboose got for us?
This is around the time when I said Chevrolet is going to start picking up in speed. It's either going to be this race or it's going to be the following race. I'm going to pick old 7-time Jimmy Johnson as my main pick.
He's got some wins there.
Dark horse? Oh, yeah. He has, 6 or 7 wins there?
He's got a lot.
And as from a dark horse, yeah, I'm going to go with Amarella.
All right. And Amp?
So, for my main, I'm going to go with Mr. MTJ. And my dark horse is going to be that number 10 car.
So 2 on Almirola.
No, not Danica.
Now, didn't you know she's subbing in this week? And I'm going to go with...
No!
I'm going to go with Kyle Busch because he's been up front every week. He's about due. And when he starts getting patient in his interviews after the race and not complaining, he wants to win, and he wants to win bad. Mm-hmm. He can win at Texas. And I'm going to go with his teammate, Eric Jones, because he's been putting a solid run together here and there, and Toyota has been fast, so is Ford. I think Eric Jones is a fair pick, but I would expect to see Penske near the front as well. I don't know about Chevy. I don't know if they've got the intermediate speed they need yet. But, well, any final comments?
Where are we going after Texas?
I think we get the
a track.
Bristol, Richmond, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, Bristol. It'll be a weekend off.
Yeah,
then Bristol Richmond.
Yep. Yeah. For Martinsville so far, it was definitely. I don't think it was nowhere near the hyped up nature that it usually is. It wasn't a bad race. It had a lot of passing, a lot of
too much clean racing
that were quite interesting. But yeah, there was no aggression that usually comes out of Martinsville, and I think that was lacking. And no crashes.
I think team owners happy, but the fans upset.
I think that aggression will come back in the fall when they're in the chase.
Yeah.
I think what we need to do to make Martinsville exciting again is make it to where the front half of the field can only take the low lane, and the last half of the field goes around the other way, using only the top lane, and then we tape off the son of bitches until they blow.
And if that don't work, then put them in a figure 8 and let them have at it.
Well, let's not get
Team owners
GTA
aren't
on
spending $750,000 in a weekend. They ain't happy.
One quick
So-
off-topic thing.
ahead.
I just saw is that Danica's apparently racing the Indy 500, not the NASCAR,
Yep.
the actual Indy 500.
Yep. All right. Well, I guess that about wraps her up. There you got some filler content for what was an otherwise uneventful race, except for the snow. And this is
Then we got a
Broken
week
Shifter
off.
podcast. And we'll be back next week. No, we won't.
Or the week after.
Week after?
Yeah, the week after.
Yeah, we're taking the weekend off as well. So we'll see you the week after with some Texas results and some picks for the next race. So I'm Hurdon.
I'm Carbon.
I'm Caboose.
Amp.
We got it perfectly.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yay for Easter.